How much money did I actually make in my first 3 months as a vintage reseller on Etsy? That's the big question I want to share with you guys here today, because when I started out, I really had no clue about what to expect or where to begin. So hopefully you will find this video helpful if you're also on a vintage and antiques resale journey. Now, first thing first, I think this is the burning questions everybody's having, is did you quit your daytime job? Yes, and I can reveal that after 3 months, I am still in my daytime job, but I'm still really excited about the fact that I have actually sold items on Etsy. Now, why did I start this journey? 6 months ago, my partner and I bought a period house from the 1900s in East London. And I know it's super exciting. It was a big overdue project. And as a part of that process, we needed stuff and furniture. And I've just found myself on so many antique markets and vintage fairs and car boot sales, and I really enjoy the process. And I probably have a bit of a hoarder gene because I started buying things, and having acquired a lot, I decided that, hey, maybe someone else would like some of these things that I really love too. It took a while to decide on what platform to start out on. So after a bit of research, I settled on Etsy. I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right? So here we are. Now, I will need my laptop because there's a lot of numbers and stats that I wanna go over, because I wanna be completely transparent about what this journey has been like. So I can reveal that I have sold 4 items so far. And you might say, hey, that's not a lot, but for me, it's been completely fine. I'm currently ramping up my efforts. I had a wedding in the middle of everything, so I kind of paused things a little bit. I didn't put a lot of efforts in, but now that we're on the other side, I'm actually ramping up, and I have just started listing on Vinted and on Etsy, not on Etsy, on eBay as well. I'm dabbling with Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. That might be coming next, but I'm just getting my head around a few things from a practical perspective, because you gotta actually deliver the things that people sell. So let's talk about what I sold, and I'll tell you what I sold it for. And at the very end of the video, I'll give you insights into the profits I made. And is that good or bad? I will let you judge that. The very first item I sold on Etsy, I listed sometimes in June. And by the 13th of June, I sold my stainless steel butter dish, and it has really beautiful wooden handles. It should come up in a picture here so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, this particular items take me back to childhood. My grandmother used to have butter in the fridge in a stainless steel dish like this. So I was really excited when I found it in our local charity shop, and I thought, hey, maybe someone else will like this too. I paid £2 for it, and at the end, I ended up selling the stainless steel butter dish for £18. And now you might think that is an amazing profit for a stainless steel butter dish, but that's not all, right? So I invested £2, and then I have an Excel spreadsheet where I write everything down. Then I had to post it. I actually spent about £6 on that. I think that's okay. So that's £8 in total. Then Etsy takes a cut. Of course they do. It's not free to have shop real estate, even online. So they took £2 and 57 cents out of that. So altogether, I made a profit of £7.43, so £7.5. Let's say that £7.5 in profit. I think that's really good. It is making my money back 4 times, and that's really good. I think so far I'm happy if I'm just doubling my money. I know there's time and effort going into it, but right now I'm just building the business. So I think getting that amount of money back has actually been quite good. The next item I sold about a week later. So we are at the 23rd of June. It was a Podmerian Syringa pottery set, or it's a pitcher and a bowl, which went really well together. I thought it was so beautiful, and this one actually went to Germany, and I was quite pleased with that, to see that it went for the asking price. So I paid 18.5 pounds for the large jug and the pitcher. It should be coming up here with a picture so you can see it. I listed it for 82 pounds, and what I didn't know at the time, I knew that there would be import taxes in Germany, but I didn't know that Etsy would actually add the taxes to the listing. And I'm also getting my head around postage fees and how that's set up in the system. So judge me now, but I'm working really hard on it. So I sold it officially for 82. The client, a customer, got charged 111 pounds. And then out of that, I paid about 9 pounds to post it. And Etsy took 31 pounds. Let's just do round numbers in their fees. I made 53 pounds on this. So that means I more than doubled my money, because I paid 18.5 pounds for it. And I was really excited. And then it happened. I got a 5-star review on my Etsy shop and a kind note from the buyer, and it really made my day so good. She loved it, and I couldn't be happier. Fast forward, let's talk about the third sale, which is this beautiful copper plate, kind of shaped like a flower. You should be able to see it here. And that one I also picked up in one of our local charity shops. I paid 4 pounds for it, so a bit steep on the price, but I really liked it, and it had such beautiful patina. So I thought, if I like it, hopefully someone else will too. I put it up on the Etsy shop, and the sales price were 42 pounds, which I thought was amazing. I can't believe I sold it for that. It's so good. And then the postage costs were about 3 pounds. And then in terms of fees, Etsy took 5 pounds and 70 cents. So if you calculate all of those numbers together, I made just under 30 pounds on this copper plate. Really amazing. Went to the UK. The last item I bought really burned me. I know. So it was this beautiful Queen Anne silver plated tray. I absolutely loved it, and I think I just paid up way too much for it. So lesson learned, I paid 30 pounds for it. Yeah, I know you can judge me if you're a vintage seller and you're like, oh my God, you got screwed over. I totally did. Then I listed it for 65, I think. And then this one got sold to the US, all of the fees and what have we on top. So into my account rolled 81 pounds and 59 cents. Perfect. Right. But then the F up happened. So postage to the US, I was charged just under 25 pounds, which on its own, I would have kept my money and made a small profit if that was it. But here is the big problem. So what I didn't know at the time is that Etsy is actually advertising your listings, and you don't really have a choice. You can limit it so that they're not doing advertising on Instagram, on Google, but you're not really asked, and it's not really transparent. Anyways, they advertised my Queen Anne tray, and at the end, they charged me 11 pounds for ad features. Reflecting on it, and then obviously going into research mode on like, okay, I was charged this thing I didn't see coming, then is that expensive? Well, if I had to learn how to do ads online properly, I know a bit about it, but if I had to really learn that and do it, that would have costed me time and money. So on its own, it's not a problem, but it was a big surprise. So they charged me that. Then they also took 17 pounds in their cut. So altogether, that's 29 pounds that they, thanks Etsy. And if you calculate all of these numbers, then we have a sale of £81, subtract the 30 I paid, subtract the postage cost of 25, and then the 29 pounds in fees from Etsy, which would double more than what I've thought it would be. Then I actually lost £2 on this deal. So yeah. So if you haven't done Etsy before, be aware about their off-site ad fees. It's not every item that get hit by it, but I think they have certain items, I don't know how they're calculating it, which they will push for you. So it might have to do with good SEO, a popular item. I certainly drew eyeballs to this item based on the offsite ads, and there we go. So how do you navigate this in the future? I think is something, when we're talking about lessons learned, that you really have to be mindful about. And now that I'm starting out on eBay, I'm just getting my head around, is this a thing? So if you know and you're further in the journey, let me know in the comments, what are the big pitfalls on eBay that we all have to be aware about? And maybe I'll do a separate video at some point on the Etsy offsite ads, my opinion on it, because I do have a big opinion on it at this point. Anyways, that is my 4 items sold. And after having posted my previous video, there was actually a lovely girl that swooped into my Instagram, which will pop up here. So go and check it out and don't forget to follow. So she DM'd me there that she was actually interested in one of the items I didn't intend to list. So I might now have sold this beautiful dandelion paperweight, but we shall wait and see. So how much money did I make totally on these 4 items if you're taking out all of the fees and the postage and the whatever have we? In total, I made £88. So yep, not super rich, but it is enough money for me to reinvest it back into my business. So I have bought so many more new items. In terms of other things, I think you need to be very aware about when you're starting this journey is learning about pricing strategy. I'm still learning, of course. I've only sold 4 items, but I think we have a habit of actually emotionally attaching ourselves to these items. I can definitely see a couple of occasions where I've done this. So I'm currently going through my listings and being like, if I'm being brutally honest and doing my research on especially eBay, what can I see that these items have sold for if I am comparing it to my listed items? And that gives a really good indication for probably what it should be listed as. I'm going through that process, but it's really interesting, right? Because the Queen Anne tray, I got so many people favoring it. I am currently having a very beautiful Norwegian hand-painted box, and within the last hour I've had 6 people favoring that item, and I feel pretty confident that that will be gone by the end of this week. So I think there's a learning curve in what sells and what doesn't, and also how do you price correctly. Now, the last big lesson I had from these 3 months on Etsy is learning about what it means to be packaging your items, how to be effective in doing that. Because of course, for £88, I was actually lucky to be able to bundle and deliver 2 items in one go to the post office. So it was 3 trips, other than the fact that it wasn't. Because when you're buying labels on Etsy, they are not giving you the service where you can go to the shop and they print the label for you. So for me, who doesn't have a printer at the moment, I'll probably get a label printer eventually. It means I have to go and get this printed out, or have to tape it to the box, and then I will have to go and send it at the post office. So it takes time. On one of the parcels, I went for a cheaper label. I think it was Yodel, and that meant I had to go further to actually drop off the parcel. And I didn't mind, I was going grocery shopping anyways, but because I wasn't given the label code so they could print it in the shop, which I thought I would be able to. That was why I went there. That meant I actually had to bring the parcel back because there wasn't a print shop around the corner, and then go the next day. I've also been in a situation when I had the 2 parcels I was sending all together. That was again another provider, DPD or Udell or FedEx or whatever they're called. And the local shop, they didn't take them in. So I went to a shop a bit further down the road. Turned out they didn't take it either. And I ended up going far, far away from home. And I need to note down what this company is, because I am never doing that again. There was a shop that took them, but then they didn't take the bigger parcel. So that was the Pietscher and the Ball that was going to Germany. And don't even get me started. It took me forever. So would I recommend starting a shop? Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. It's a side hustle. And I'm sure that over time, these things will be worked out, but it's certainly a process. So let me know in the comments below if you are selling on Etsy or on any other resale site. I love to connect, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and continue on watching this video where I will take you antique shopping at London's biggest antiques market. Thank you so much, and I will see you there.